in a single season, his first season as a starter. The last two quarterbacks to do that were Peyton Manning and Dan Marino, both of whom won MVP that same season. So there's no runaway winner, right? There's no guy that we're like, this is your MVP. Last night, I feel like we saw a bunch of candidates and possibilities from Mahomes, Jared Goff, maybe even, and Todd Gurley didn't have a huge game last night, but we can't rule him out of this equation either. Who, in your opinion, guys, right now, and I know it's early, who's the MVP?
What do you think, Schrags?
Look, it's not a done deal right now. But I think Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes are the front runners. And I would just say this because I know Brees is going to get the love because they haven't lost since week one and he's put up this career. That if you look at the 2018 season in a vacuum, in a silo, Patrick Mahomes is shattering records at such a record pace that by the end of this thing, he might own every single NFL passing record and be with a team that's the #1 seed in the AFC. If that's not enough to win the MVP, well, then it's a valiant effort, and I'll certainly say he's a silver medal winner and not be ashamed that he lost to Drew Brees. Patrick Mahomes has 37 touchdown passes through 11 games. Only twice has quarterbacks done anything close to that, and it's Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and they both won the MVP running away. So I'm going to say the Mahomes case, just based on this season. If you throw out all the years in the past away, and Drew Brees has been amazing this year, I would still give my vote, and I am not an AP voter. I am not. I have no vote for this. I would still cast my vote for Patrick Mahomes, even in a loss last evening.
In a vacuum, not in a vacuum, it's got to be Drew Brees for me. And I gave Patrick Mahomes his due love, what he's doing, almost winning a game after turning the ball over 5 times. You can't turn over the ball 5 times. So when I look at it, when's the last time you saw Drew Brees do that? Will Drew Brees do that? He won't. He has 1 interception on the entire season, which is insane. You're talking about shattering records. He's shattering his own records this season, and this is the one thing that's eluded him. The one thing that he does not have is an NFL season MVP. He's having a great season. I can't take it away from him. He looks unstoppable. This is a historic defense, the second best in NFL history, and he's the dude leading it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong either way. Both of these guys are playing unbelievable. Of course, Drew Brees is shattering his own record, high percentage rate of passing, but I'm not going to keep into account the historic numbers. You got to remove that from what this season means. The 28 touchdowns to 37, I love the fact that Pat Mahomes is leading the way, and this is his first year on the field. He's getting close to that 50 burger, which is unheard of for quarterbacks to be working towards the end of the season and almost on their way to 50 touchdowns. For me, it is Pat Mahomes. I feel like what he brings to the table, and you look at the teams that he lost to. He lost to the guy you're talking about. He lost to Jared Goff playing unbelievable last night. And a couple of those interceptions, they're pressures. It's not like he made a bad decision. So as far as efficiency, he's still playing very smart football. And when you get strip sacked by Aaron Donald, I can't blame you for letting go of the ball. That's a grown man jumping on your back, ripping that ball out. So if they give it to Brees, I'd celebrate because one of the quarterbacks I always want to play with. Yeah. If they give it to Patrick Mahomes, I'd nod my head and say, that's what I thought.
Let me add a wrinkle here. I was trying to take this award literally, and I think that the way that most voters do it is you look at the best player on the best team, you pull up the standings, you pull up the stats, and you give it to that player, and that's totally deserved. Drew Brees, very deserving of the MVP. I would celebrate if he got it. But I always take this literally. It's not the BP. It's not the best player. It is the most valuable player. I believe baseball has a thing called wins above replacement. I think if Drew Brees was taken off the Saints, you take Sean Payton, you take Teddy Bridgewater, take Taysom Hill, you're going to win a lot of ball games. The Chiefs with Alex Smith won a lot of ball games. I think if you were to take Andrew Luck off the Indianapolis Colts, they're 0-10 right now. They're 0-10 in terms of pure, never mind good, but value to what they bring to their team with what he has around him and more specifically what he doesn't. I love T.Y. and those guys. I don't see Michael Thomas and Kamara and Hill and Hunt, et cetera, et cetera. I think if you were just #value, no one in this season has brought more value than Andrew Luck. They're an 0-10 team with whatever backup they tried out there. I think he is the most valuable player right now.
If you had a vote, if you were an AP voter for the MVP right now, heading into Week 12, who is your MVP, Kyle?
Andrew Luck, because I can read and it says most valuable, and that gets pushed aside. It just becomes who's the coolest, best player, and that's fine. I don't begrudge it. But if I really hang my hat on value, I'd go Andrew Luck.
I would go Pat Mahomes, but I made a comment yesterday. I said if you're talking MVP, you got to mention Andrew Luck. NFL Network, they ran with it, they posted it. People were lighting me up, saying, "That happens. What are you smoking? What are you thinking about?" But if you think about these next handful of games, Andrew Luck could finish the season right up there with Pat Mahomes for touchdowns. He is on fire. And if he gets his team into the playoffs, most valuable player, you have to mention him.
You could
I
put
get it.
Jared Goff and Aaron Donald.
You're right.
And Khalil
into the
Mack.
mix.
You're right.
And
Todd
Khalil
Gurley
Mack.
in there.
You're right. You're right.
And I'd probably
This year.
go the two defensive guys above